Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And the first hat has been thrown into the ring, or should I say, the first Tugendhat has been thrown into the ring, because the Security Minister, Tom Tugendhat, has announced that he will stand for election to leader of the Conservative Party. Although that's like saying, I'd like to be captain of the sinking Titanic. It's not a great place to be. It's not much of a job, not much of a reward for all the hard work going in to fight a campaign to take over. But it goes to show that he, like many others, are fully aware that Rishi Sunak will, on the 5th of July, be an ex-Prime Minister and the ex-leader of the Tory Party. He will have gone. He will be tootled off, a little stick with a red spotted handkerchief slung over his back, as he beats it out of Dodge. That's not true. The stick is, of course, a very, very healthy bank account, and the contents, of course, of that red handkerchief will be untaxed billions as he sods off, not down in a pair of old walking boots, but in the confines of a private jet as he makes his way to California to take up his new life in America. But it is the start. Tugendhat is just the start. Who else will announce? Well, probably Penny, PM for PM and all that. You know, Kimmy, maybe. There's a few. Pretty, who knows? Let's have a look to see what's going on and why he has decided to kick off the leadership campaign before the election. Here goes. So, Security Minister Tom Tugendhat is set to run for the Tory leadership if the Conservatives lose the election. And if Rishi Sunak stands down, which of course he will. The moment they lose, 10 p.m. when the news channels open up and offer the exit polls, which are not allowed to do until 10 p.m. But at 10 p.m. they do the exit polls. It'll be quite clear then that Rishi is done, dusted, and will be packing his bags, calling in the moving truck, and getting all his personal stuff taken out of number 10. He'll probably do it overnight. He'll be a bit of a fly-by-night kind of merchant. I don't think he'll hang on. He knows. He knows he's finished. But I think it's telling that they're already making moves to replace him. You know, already. It's accepted that they're going to lose. It's accepted now that Sunak will go, and that they are in desperate need of a new leader. But I will say now, Tugendhat is not the leader. He is the wrong man. He's an unknown as far as the people are concerned. He's a weird looking chap. He doesn't look as though he's ever done a day's work in his life. He's a career politician. Strange man. But he's not going to do it. He's not high profile enough. What he is, though, is the stalking horse. He's the one that will kick the challenge off, and then others will come in. But they'll not be seen as being the first one to come in. They'll have been persuaded by friends that now is the time and all that. Usual bollocks that they talk when we all know that every single politician is desperate to climb that greasy pole. But let's have a look. Security Minister Tom Tugendhat is set to run for the Tory leadership if the party loses the election next month and Rishi Sunak stands down. The frontbencher, who ran a failed leadership campaign in 2022, so you'd think he'd learn, and hails from the moderate wing of the Conservative Party, so bit of a wet, is said to be preparing for the race to replace the Prime Minister if polling doesn't improve. So he's coming from the same side of the party that has lost the election, that has lost its way, that has moved the party far to the left to become the Blue New Labour Party. Rather than standing on traditional Conservative values and offering what the Tory voters want. And that's the problem. That's why he's not going to win. He'll be rejected. Certainly, he'll be rejected by the members. All 47 of them that remain, as they're all moving across to reform. Anyway, he says he's definitely working quietly in the background, so quietly that no one even knows he's there, I suspect. Mr. Tugendhat is just one of a handful of politicians said to be keeping an eye on the top spot as party leader if the Tories lose and Mr. Sunak steps down. I don't think it'll take Mr. Sunak stepping down for there to be a leadership challenge. If he lacks the balls to stand up and say, right, it's time for a change. Sorry, Rishi, you've got to go. then it goes to show what already a weak man he is. The Prime Minister and his cabinet ministers are still insisting that a shock victory is not out the question. Yeah, but not in this universe. Maybe in some alternative reality where people instantly forget all the awful things you've done. Maybe. Who knows? But not here. Labour have got roughly a 20 percentage point poll lead, and that's not decreasing at all. There he is. There's Action Man with his eagle eyes and gripping hands. He hasn't got the scar down the face. We can arrange that, I suppose. Mr Sunak has confirmed he will stay as MP for Richmond in North Yorkshire. He says that, but yeah, I don't believe him. He says it's for all of the 5 years if he's re-elected. I don't believe that. I do not believe him. He's not said whether he plans to remain as party leader. Oh, he won't be party leader. There's no way he can remain as party leader. He's done. A leadership battle would be the Conservative Party's fourth in the last 5 years, after the contest to replace Theresa May in 2019, Boris Johnson in 22, Liz Truss in 22, and now Rishi. It comes as Sunak on Tuesday welcomed Mr Johnson having a more active role in the campaign. Well, he's had to pretend that he likes it, of course, because he's got no option. Remember, it was Rishi who stabbed Boris in the back and had planned to do so for some time. So, what's he going to do? Sit there and go, oh no, F me, not Boris, The Prime Minister said it's great that Boris is supporting the Conservative Party. Well, who else would he support? He says, I very much welcome that. Actually, it wouldn't surprise me if Boris jumped onto reform as well. But the only trouble is you got the battle of the two big egos then, haven't you? But who knows? Will Boris come back? Will Boris do a Churchill and had his wilderness months and then come back and lead the party on? Who knows? It's possible. It is possible. He said, Mr Johnson, who's currently in Sardinia with his family, very nice too, has recorded video messages for the Tories, including Sir Simon Clarke, Paul Bristow, Nick Fletcher, Tom Hunt and Jane Stevenson, and I've heard about one of them. And it comes from Mrs Sunak, and underlined the Tories' defensive strategy today as he campaigned in North Devon, although the people of North Devon didn't want him. Did you notice, by the way, that he went out to some farmer with this, I don't know if you saw the video of this, he went out and there was a farmer with his flock, these sheep there, and as Rishi approached, all the sheep ran away. I presume, of course, they thought, oh no, Tory leader, better run away. We know what Tory leaders like to do with pigs, don't we? Remember Cameron? Say no more. PM joined former Attorney General Geoffrey Cox in Torridge and Tavistock, where he had a notional majority of nearly 23,000 at the 2019 election. Be interesting to see if that can be retained. Lose that one, you're done, aren't you? The pair joined a group of fishermen catching lobster. Lobsters aren't fish, they'd be lobster men, surely. As well as chatting to local activists on a beach in Clovelly. He later went on to visit North Devon, where Selene Saxby is defending a majority of almost 15,000, so she's in trouble. Mr Sunak's focus on previously ultra-safe seats will heighten alarm within the party. Now, he is only going to ultra-safe seats. He is not going to marginals. He's not basically wasting his time talking to people who he knows ain't going to be there. What a coward. What an absolute tiny little coward he is. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Does he buy his clothes in Mothercare? I don't know. Mothercare isn't even a thing anymore. Axeman. It's just a little Axeman. Ken dolls. Put his little Ken doll stuff on. Tiny man syndrome. That's the thing. Anyway, round off and come up. So there we go. An absolute nobody with no chance of winning announces that he's going to stand for leadership. But of course, he's just the gateway challenger. This will allow free access for others who will say now that they will stand. Now, the thing is, I keep taking the mick out of how short Rishi Sunak is. To be honest, I think Boris Johnson's only about an inch taller, They seem to have a propensity for little men. Weird, isn't it? I think the last three prime ministers have all been something like 5'7", 5'8". Can't think of the last. Well, Cameron would be the last 6-footer, wouldn't he? Other than that, tiddly people. Little man syndrome. Pair of them. Egos. Massive egos. Little shoes. Caligula. Little boots. Anyway, thanks for listening. Take care. Speak soon. Goodbye.